Hey guys, Theron Asbury here with Revital Outdoors again, bringing another exciting podcast tonight. Tonight we have Mr. Brian Bean from the great state of Arkansas. You guys know I've mentioned the state of Arkansas a lot of times. Near and dear to my heart, Woo Pig Suey. They just beat #1 Auburn in basketball, so very, very excited for that. But last year, Brian got a top 10 finish in the Arkie Division BFL Major League Fishing Tournament on Lake Ouachita. So tonight we're going to talk to him about Lake Ouachita, how he fished his tournament, what he predicts for this year's BFL tournament in 2022. It's going to be a very exciting podcast. Before we get started, though, make sure if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification button. That way you get notified when all of our content is dropping. We have a lot of great content coming in the near future as we're deep into fishing season. There's a lot of BFL tournaments happening, so we're very, very excited. Also, make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, all of our social media accounts. And if you've never heard of Revital Outdoors, we're a premium CBD company for all outdoor enthusiasts. We're THC-free, made right here in America. We have great products. Check us out on our website. And then also, if you're interested in a pro staff program, fill out that application there on our website, and we'll be happy to review it. So that being said, let's go ahead and bring him in from the great state of Arkansas, Mr. Brian Bean. Brian, how you doing this evening, bud?
All right, man. I'm great.
Good. So it looks like you guys have some decent weather there in Arkansas, even with the winter still happening.
Oh, yeah. It was almost 70 degrees today, I think.
Wow. So, well, man, let's get right into it. Lake Ouachita, I know you've always had a lot of great history on Lake Ouachita. So talk to us about last year's tournament. What were you able to piece together, and how did you catch your fish?
I caught, I think, all of them except for one on a rig out deep, and it was tough, man. It was slick calm. I think I caught a 5-pounder on one spot, and it was very, very slow. Kind of, the pressure, it was up, and it was tough.
So it was slick calm, but was it high sunshine as well?
Yes. It was as tough as you could get it.
Yeah, high barometric pressure, not good in the state of Arkansas ever.
Nope. And I think only, Chris Darby won with, 16 maybe or 17, and normally that's not that great.
No, just from my history on Lake Ouachita and Lake Hamilton for that matter, especially in the wintertime, it just seems like the fish bite better in the wintertime on those two lakes. You need between that 22, 25-pound mark. I've even seen a 28-pound bag back in the early days of the Arkansas Bass Team Trail. Usually it takes a lot of weight. So when the weather pattern is like that, it just, for some reason, those fish just do not want to react at all.
Nope. Okay, and they're becoming smarter every day.
It doesn't help that everyone and their brother is out there winging these big chandelier Alabama rigs at them, so they've become very used to that.
It's amazing how smart, now that we can watch them and see how they relate to what we do, they evolve, they get smarter.
Absolutely. So, you say you're fishing deep on brush piles. Are these brush piles that you planted or that you have found, and are they relating to anything specific, such as main lake points, secondary points? Walk us through why these brush piles held the fish that they did for you to get a top 10 last year.
Well, I put out over 90 brush piles last year, and I try to keep them to myself until you get seen. I don't think depth really makes a difference. It's just kind of getting off the beaten path.
I got you. So, are you maybe up the river? Are you fishing main lake? Are you in Rabbit's Foot? Or
I honestly fish from the dam to almost the bridge. I feel comfortable with, my dad is probably the best that there ever was on that lake, and he's taught me.
That's a fact.
I feel like I'm comfortable with any part of the lake that there is.
Right. I know that there's a lot of pros that live around Lake Ouachita, and all of them have looked up to your dad. I mean, I'd like to see your dad have fished the 2011 Forest Wood Cup when Scott Martin won. Just knowing what your dad knows about brush piles in that lake, I think it would have been very interesting.
Yes, very.
Absolutely. So, well, Brian, so does that mean that you run and gun? Are you make a few casts, and if they don't react, you leave? Are you looking at your electronics to see if they're there before you make a cast, or what's kind of your game plan?
Man, I rely on my electronics, 90% of the time. And as well as I do, the more time you spend on the water, if you're able to, you see how they react, and you just kind of know what to do. They will tell you what they want. They'll tell you what they don't want.
Yeah, that's for sure. So I know in the BFL division that there's a lot of stipulations and a lot of rules with the Alabama rig. You can only have 5 wires, 3 hooks, 2 dummy baits, 5 blades. I'm a firm believer in that rule. I think it's there for a reason. So that being said, is that what you kind of stick to, or do you like to maybe change up the different colors of the swim baits? Do you maybe run grubs and swim baits, or does it really
No,
matter to you?
yeah, honestly, I throw a Berkeley Power Swimmer. That's all I throw, 3.3 or a 3.8. And I think it's all about where you put it at.
You just got to get in front of their face.
Right. Yep.
Okay. Brush piles anywhere between 15 and 30 feet. I mean, I know Ouachita's got some deep, deep water. Are you going deeper than that, or?
Yeah, man. It's sometimes, over 30. Just depends on the lake's down a little right now. So they may be out a little bit deeper. And I haven't been up there since November. So I honestly don't know what to expect when I go.
Okay. Well, thinking about last year, were you catching pre-spawn fish or still holding to that winter pattern?
No, they were still winter pattern.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. And then I know that, Lake Ouachita, it's known to have a few smallmouth in it, but it's got a very good population of spotted bass and largemouth. Are you catching spotted and largies, or are you just going after largies, or what are you targeting?
Large, definitely largemouth. If you're fishing for spots, you're in trouble. But now there is some big smallmouth, and they're being caught, 4 pounds. Not typical, but there has been some caught.
Okay. Okay. That's very interesting to me. So, are they still in the main lake mixed up with the largemouth and spotmouth, or are they up the river, or?
Their main lake, rock, just, you never know where you're going to run into one at. It seems like I've had years before I've caught a lot of them and then go and not catch one for 2 years.
Okay. Okay. So, well, you talk a lot about throwing an Alabama rig. Is there any other rods you have on the deck to, get those fish to entice to biting if they're not reacting to the A rig, or you just go until one of them bites?
I mean, that's pretty much the deal. I feel like if that's what I have confidence in, unless the wind gets up, and I'll get on the bank a little bit and try to get a bite.
Okay.
So
Okay.
rail trap, my frit side, but I try to stay deep.
Okay. Okay. I got you. So, well, thinking about last year versus this year, I know the weather's been a lot different. I know you guys had a lot of rain last year that maybe affected the fish. What do you predict this year? Do you think maybe the same weight? Are you looking at a little bit different, or how does last year differ from this year?
Well, it's kind of hard to tell. I'm going to say the weights are going to be up.
Okay.
19 at 20 to at least to win, I would think. Normal, unless something crazy happens.
Okay. Okay. So, another question I have to have, there's a lot of co-anglers, strong co-anglers in the state of Arkansas that love to fish. Fishing behind a guy throwing an Alabama rig on brush piles is going to be very, very difficult. A lot of co-anglers won't get that chance to throw at that brush pile. That's just part of it. The boaters paid their money to fish those brush piles, and that's just the respect that they've earned fishing in the front of the boat. So as a co-angler, instead of getting distraught or frustrated that their boaters fishing brush piles and they may not get to throw in on that, what does a co-angler do behind a guy like that, and how can they be successful? Because I know they can. There's plenty of fish that swim around in Lake Ouachita.
I would suggest, a Carolina rig, big football jig, something you can drag around, because as well as I do, if you're not looking at that graph, there's fish out there.
That's a fact. And even though you're honed in on one brush pile, there's plenty of brush piles in Lake Ouachita. You can run into one just throwing a big 3/4 ounce jig in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
That's a fact. So, well, Brian, really appreciate you coming on this podcast. You've given a lot of great information. Good luck to you again this year. But final thoughts before we let you go. Is there anybody you'd like to thank? Family, friends, sponsors, anybody that helps you? I know you fish a lot of tournaments between Mr. Bass, Arkansas Bass Team Trail, the BFL. So anybody that supports your career, we'd love to hear from you.
Oh, man, I couldn't do it without Trader Bills. They helped me tremendously. My graphs, technology is way smarter than I am. Trolling motors, all that. They'll take care of you. They set everything up for me. Berkeley, Pure Fishing, Abby Garcia, they have went beyond and helped me the last few years. That helps, I get some of the stuff. The Fritz side come out years ago, and I had it before everyone else, and man, we absolutely killed them on it. And that was
when I was going to college in Arkansas, I got really, really honed in on throwing that shad wrap on 8-pound test with a spinning rod. I have to ask you before I let you go, how is that Fritz side crankbait differ from the Shad Rap? Is it better? Is it another popular bait was the Rapala DT6 and DT10.
Yep.
So how's that Fritz side compared to those baits?
Man, it fishes better through the cover, and I love a DT6, nothing, but you notice those hang a little more. The Fritz side is so finessey. It's hard to beat.
Okay, good for you. So, and then for all the listeners out there, make sure you support your local tackle shops. I know about Trader Bill's very, very well. A great boat dealership as well as a great bait shop. They also have a very good hunting selection. So make sure you get out there. You support the local economies and the local people that support all the anglers throughout the states. It's just very, very important. So, well, Brian, we're going to go ahead and let you go. Thank you for joining us on our podcast. We hope to hear from you soon. Good luck this year in the 2022 season. I know if we talk to you again soon, that means you're being successful, but I have no doubt. I've looked at your resume, man. You have a successful campaign every single year, so good luck to you, bud.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. From all of us at Revital Outdoors, thank you for tuning in to another podcast. We've had Mr. Brian Bean from the state of Arkansas fishing the Arkie division. Last year, he got a top 10 in Lake Ouachita, so we very, very much appreciate him coming on board. Again, check us out on our website. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, thank you for tuning into this podcast. Be safe out there. God bless, and we will talk to you soon.